Do you ever feel like air travel is one big confusing maze of hidden fees, tight connections, and last-minute scrambles? Well, you're not alone, and in this video, I'm sharing some of the biggest air travel mistakes that can catch even seasoned travelers off guard. But most importantly, I'm also sharing how to avoid those mistakes. By the end, you'll know how to fly smarter, stress less, and maybe even save a little cash along the way. Let's go. Number one, not understanding the extra fees on budget airlines. Budget airlines seem like a steal until you realize that everything beyond your seat comes with a price tag. Want to bring a carry-on? Fee. Need to choose your seat? Fee. Didn't print your boarding pass at home? Yep. Another fee. These costs add up fast and can sometimes surpass the price of a standard airline ticket like on Delta or United. The fix? Read the fine print before you book. Know exactly what's included in your fare and what is not. If you need extras, bundle them during your booking for a discount. Also, weigh the pros and cons. Sometimes paying a little bit more upfront with a full service airline saves you money and stress in the long run, especially when you start seeing how often the budget airlines, in particular the US budget airlines, cancel and delay flights. Now, I'm not a budget airlines hater. I do fly Frontier and JetBlue when the occasion calls for it, but I always know exactly what I'm getting when I book with them. Number two, not having a long enough layover. That 45-minute layover might look so convenient on paper, but in reality, it could spell disaster. From delayed departures to navigating a large, unfamiliar airport, you could easily miss your connection. And trust me, sprinting through terminals isn't the fun workout you think it might be. The fix? When you are purchasing your airline tickets, opt for at least an hour to an hour and a half for domestic layovers and 2.5 to 3 hours for international flights. This gives you wiggle room for delays and even time for a bathroom break or maybe a quick snack. If you're flying through notoriously busy airports, and I'm looking at you, Atlanta and Chicago, you might want to add a little more buffer time. Now, one caveat to this potential mistake is if you know your connecting domestic airport is smaller and you're not going to have to catch a tram or a bus or a train to another terminal, you could get away with a shorter connection. But if you don't know that information, it's definitely better to give yourself more time. Number three, not pre-planning your transportation from the airport. Landing in a new destination only to realize you have no idea how to get to your hotel or accommodations can quickly turn excitement into stress. Taxis can be very expensive and potentially unreliable, like we learned in Stockholm. Public transportation may be confusing, and rideshare prices surge at peak times. So what's the fix? Research your options before your trip. Download relevant transportation apps, check shuttle schedules, or pre-book a car service. Knowing how you're getting to your final destination or your accommodations makes that arrival so much smoother and less chaotic, leaving you way more time to enjoy your trip. This is especially true when you're arriving at a new destination at night after a long haul flight. The last thing your brain is ready to do is figure out public transportation in a foreign language. Other than this recent trip, which if you watched last week's video, you'll know we had a big taxi issue, I usually book a driver in advance. Typically, it's not a huge expense and it really starts the trip off on a much more relaxed vibe. Number four, not getting travel insurance. It's easy to skip travel insurance thinking you won't need it. But one missed flight, lost bag, or medical emergency can cost you thousands of dollars and a ton of stress. Travel insurance isn't just for long trips or adventure travel. Even a weekend getaway can benefit from coverage if you are pre-purchasing hotel rooms, tours, and excursions. So what's the fix? Purchase travel insurance. Purchase travel insurance as soon as you book your trip. Look for policies that are going to cover trip cancellations, medical emergencies, and lost luggage. Many credit card companies also offer travel protections, so check what benefits you might already have on those credit cards. I know one of the reasons I was so relaxed on our Nordic adventure was due to knowing that we had travel insurance in case anything went sideways. Because we were traveling during the winter in snowy and icy conditions, and I had prepaid for many things, I knew if a flight got canceled or a train got delayed, we didn't have to worry about losing the money or those prepaid experiences. Luckily, everything went smoothly and I did not have to use the insurance, but it was worth every penny of it just to have the peace of mind during the trip. I do have a link below that can help you pick out the best travel insurance for your next trip and ultimately your peace of mind too. Number 5, not downloading your airline and airport apps. Relying on the screens of the airport for updates is kind of outdated. Your airline apps are going to provide real-time notifications from boarding alerts to your baggage tracking. I love getting that little notification from Delta that my bag is now on board. The airport apps can also help you with terminal maps and amenities, and it's especially useful for those layover airports. The fix? Well, download and set up those apps before your trip. Log in and ensure that your notifications are enabled, especially for your airline apps. It's a simple step that can save you from missed announcements or wandering around aimlessly looking for your gate, especially if it gets changed at the last minute, which seems to be happening more and more these days. Number 6. Not checking in online or on the app as soon as you can. Waiting to check in at the airport can lead to long lines, delays, and possibly losing your seat on the plane due to overbooking. Plus, you might miss out on better seat choices or upgrades. The fix? Check in online as soon as your airline allows, usually 24 hours in advance. It locks in your seat and can sometimes mean an earlier boarding group. The earlier you check in online, the more possibility you have for scoring a cheap upgrade if they are available. And if you're traveling light, you can totally skip the check-in counter and head straight to security if you have saved your boarding passes in your app or printed them out at home, or like I do, take a screenshot of them. Number 7, not packing your carry-on suitcase like it could get gate checked. Airlines frequently run out of overhead space, especially on full flights. And I've been told recently that many airlines are also telling you there is no overhead space and you need to gate check your bag in order to speed up the boarding process and keep the airlines moving on time. Either way, if you have to gate check your bag, you need to make sure that you have your essential items with you and you don't have any items in your suitcase, your carry-on suitcase, that cannot go in the baggage hold of the airplane. The fix? If you are traveling carry-on only, before you leave to go to the airport, make sure that you pack your electronics, especially your portable batteries and camera batteries, medications, and important documents in your personal item bag that fits under the seat. I would also include a small packing cube with a couple of pairs of underwear and an extra shirt and maybe leggings just in case. This way, if your carry-on does get checked, you'll still have all of the essentials that you need with you. Number 8. Not weighing your bag before getting to the airport. Showing up with an overweight bag can lead to very steep fees or repacking chaos at the check-in counter. And you don't want to be that person. The fix? Invest in a small luggage scale and weigh your bags before you leave for the airport. It saves you stress and ensures you stay within the airline's limits. If you're close to the weight allowance, wear your heavier items on the plane or shift things to your personal item. Coming home from Stockholm, we spent the better part of our last afternoon reorganizing our suitcases and backpacks and tote bags to get each of our suitcases to be as close to 50 pounds or 23 kilograms as we could. Although we had the space in our suitcases for all the souvenirs we bought, because we were traveling with so much winter clothing, it was the weight that we struggled with. I was so glad that we had brought the luggage scale with us. Otherwise, we might have shown up to the airport with 60-pound bags. Bringing along an inexpensive luggage scale is such a cheap way to save you a ton of money. Number 9, not using some sort of tracking device in your luggage. Lost luggage is a travel nightmare, and it happens more often than you'd think. Although, I will say there have been a lot of improvements over the last 2 years. Using a tracking device like an AirTag or Tile can pinpoint your bag's location in real time. So what's the fix? You want to place a tracker inside your suitcase. If your bag doesn't show up at the carousel, you'll know if it's still at your departure airport or on its way to the wrong destination. It speeds up the recovery process and eases your mind because you know where your bag is. I also put a tracker in my personal item bag, usually in my passport holder, so should anything happen to that, I can track it down too. Now, I had someone comment a few videos ago that everyone can see your tracking device on their phones and that they aren't safe. And that is absolutely not true. The only people who can see your tracking devices are the people that you share the location with. Last month, United Airlines announced that they have integrated Apple's share item or location sharing feature for the AirTags into their mobile app. This is going to allow the United customer to share the location of their AirTag with United's customer service team, hopefully expediting any lost luggage issues. Fingers crossed, more airlines will follow United's lead on this because I think it's a fabulous idea. Number 10, not planning your airport arrival time based on the boarding time. Many travelers mistakenly plan their airport arrival time based on the flight's departure time, not realizing that boarding often starts 30 to 45 minutes beforehand, and many airlines close the cabin doors 10 to 15 minutes before the actual departure time. The fix? Always calculate your airport arrival to give you plenty of time for security and getting to the gate well before boarding begins. You'll want to factor in extra time during busy travel seasons and at large or unfamiliar airports. Usually when you're coming home from a foreign destination, I would definitely give myself extra time. Number 11, not being prepared to go through airport security. Fumbling with belts, shoes, computers, and liquids at the security line slows you down and can frustrate fellow travelers. The fix? Even if you are TSA pre-check or have expedited traveler status in your country, you should always approach airport security prepared to have to pull all the things out. You just never know what security threat the airport might be operating under the day you are flying and what rules they might have to follow. So make sure you know the liquids rules for whichever country you are flying out of. Generally, all liquids will need to be in a clear quart-sized bag in containers 100 milliliters or less, and only one of those quart-sized bags per person. You want to keep this bag easily accessible. You also want to pack all of your electronics so they are easy to pull out. In the US, this typically is just your laptop or other larger electronics. However, when we flew in Europe, and we flew a couple of times while we were there, they want you to take all of your electronics out, including portable chargers, plug adapters, and e-readers. So try to have everything packed together and easy to pull out. Also, wear slip-on shoes, or at least untie your shoes while you're waiting in line, and minimize your accessories from your jewelry to your belts. Empty your pockets ahead of time, even down to like gum wrappers, and place your important items like your phone and your passport in zippered pockets of your personal item bag or your jacket. Being organized speeds up the process for everyone and gets you through the most stressful part of flying more quickly, or at least in my opinion, the most stressful part of flying. Number 12, not checking your gate first before getting coffee or perhaps a fun vacay drink. Once you're through security, it can be so tempting to head straight for some coffee or a fun pre-vacation drink, but gates can change last minute and boarding may start earlier than expected. So the fix? Head straight to your gate after clearing security. Once you confirm the location and status of your flight, then you can go grab your coffee or a margarita. Make sure to check your gate periodically though while you wait, either on your app or from the departure board or by actually going back to the gate itself. Because like I said, it seems like gates are changing more frequently now than they used to. Number 13, not having a portable charger for your electronics. Outlets at the airport are often taken and these days can pose a personal security threat. Unfortunately, scammers have found a way to program the outlets to steal data from you if you plug your phone directly into a public USB port. And the last thing you want on a travel day is a dead phone or tablet, which can leave you stranded without boarding passes or travel updates. The fix? Well, number one is to make sure that you fully charge all of your electronics before leaving for the airport. And number two is to carry a fully charged portable charger in your bag, preferably a charger with multiple ports to help juice up several devices at once. And remember what I mentioned earlier, you need to make sure that these portable batteries are packed in your personal item bag if your carry-on bag gets gate checked. I usually have an electronics bag that I keep charging cables, my Bluetooth adapter, and portable chargers all in one place in my personal item bag. It just makes it so much easier. Number 14, not dressing appropriately for your travel day. Now, I know appropriate can be extremely subjective, but in this instance, I'm talking about wearing complicated outfits, uncomfortable shoes, or just crazy accessories that can make long travel days feel that much longer. The fix? Dress in layers, opt for comfortable shoes, and bring a cozy wrap or sweater for those predictable temperature fluctuations on the airplane. Practical, comfortable outfits make travel smoother and more enjoyable. If you are looking for some inspiration on what to wear on your next travel day, check out this video next. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have safe and wonderful travels.